Ogun State, where, well, there seemed to be trouble in the ruling, or rather, in the People's Democratic Party in Ogun State. First, well, there was a chairman. There is a chairman. Adebayo is the chairman, according to the courts. But, well, that was days before now. There seemed to be a parallel executive also from Ogun State. Well, joining us to look at the Ogun State PDP crisis is Adebayo Dayo, an engineer. He's the Ogun State PDP chairman. Good to have you this morning.
Good morning.
Would it be right for us to say factional chairman?
I wouldn't say that. I believe that the law is on our side, and the people, 90% of the membership of PDP in Ogun State are with us, and it will not be right saying that there is another chairman. Of course, he can call himself whatever he likes, but I know it's not the chairman, and members of the PDP in Ogun State knows that he's not the chairman because he's not elected by the people.
Now, let's get to the heart of the question. Twice you've been rejected. The first was a contempt proceeding at the court, and next was a rejection of an ex parte injunction. Don't you feel you are losing out of this bid?
We are not, because we did not lose out. What happened in the court that day was a committal process, and that has nothing to do with the executive of the party. Committal process for some contemnors. That was what we were talking about in the court. It isn't the executive of PDP at all.
The first contempt, okay, right on.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the executive of the state, the local government, and the wards. If you want to have the state, at least the ward must belong to you, the local government must belong to you, then we'll be talking about the state. But all they are interested in is the chairman of the party at the state level. What can you do with the chairman of the party at the state level if the grassroots are not in your support?
Now, going by the recommendations of the court, when you initiated your contempt proceeding,
yes,
Justice Mosumola Adebayo said there was no need for that. And at the second filing of suit for an ex parte injunction, Justice Mohammed said it was not necessary because the injunction was not going to be taken. It was going to be useless because the other factions was not going to respect it. So he called for both parties to be served a pending notice.
To be put on notice for hearing. If you want to put somebody on notice for hearing, that means the judge did not want to take side. If he just approved an ex parte motion, it means that he has ordered those people not to do some certain things. But he wants to hear both sides before he makes a decision. That's what it means. I cannot talk very much on the legal aspect of this matter, particularly when it has to do with committal process. Only the solicitor can talk about that, because the committal process is a different thing from the executive of the party in Ogun State. It's a completely different thing.
Well, you know, everyone is trying to see what kind of peace, how much of peace they can bring to Ogun State so that no one gets into some kind of chaos in that particular state. And when we'll talk about the rule of law and what exactly is happening now. Remember, after all of that, we had 236 wards in that state that went out to elect new leaders.
No, that is not correct. That is not correct. When you say you had 236, I have the list with me here, the list of the people that attended. Not all of them, but they have a list. About 50% of them went to that place. I have about 10 names I can give you out of this list here now. You can call them and check whether they were actually there. They were just picking people on the street.
What did the court say about your election as chairman of PDP in Ogun State?
Well, the national chairman of PDP in Abuja, yes, we have problem at the national level. I can assure you that, because Oyinlola, the national secretary, happened to belong to Baba Obasanjo's group. Because he was elected by that group, he wanted to do as much as possible. In many cases, even without the knowledge of the national chairman, he wants to do as much as he could do to assist them. But we have a legal backing. We followed due process, and at the ward level, at the local government level, and at the state level. Your cameramen were there when we had our Congress at the state level, at the local government, at the wards. They were all there. All the security agencies were there. It is a surprise now that some people are saying they have a lot of policemen where they had their Congress.
Were they there, the representatives of your party from the national level? Because if we look at your rule here, Article 12.72J of your constitution, that's the PDP constitution, states that the NEC, the National Executive Committee, which is the highest decision-making body of your party, in quote, shall make party electoral regulations to govern the conduct of election to all party offices at every level, and also regulate procedure for selecting the party candidates for elective offices. Are you aware if they did this with the other faction?
I will tell you. You see, Article 2 of our Constitution stipulates that, subject to the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, this Constitution shall be supreme. So everything is based under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is the superior constitution. And when you go to court, if you feel cheated and you go to court, you are going to court, and they will use the 1999 Constitution, which is superior to any political party constitution. And that is what we base our judgment on: the rule of law and the support of all the grassroots men and women.
You know, because no one wants any kind of trouble in your state. But again, from the names we're getting to pick from different quarters, from your own camp and the other camp, saying that some chieftains of your party are in support of different groups. What is it? A fallout of the last election?
No.
I'm not talking about the local government elections. We're talking about the governorship elections.
No. Even after the governorship election, we have more people coming into our party than before, because ACN is nothing to talk about in Ogun State. They have lost their grip, and the PDP has the majority. Of course, we cannot use this last election to judge the importance of.
I was going to use the last election to actually judge that statement.
You couldn't use that, because
How
I
so?
think when you talk about state INEC, you are talking of one political party, because the political party, they are the one that they choose all the umpires that will be there for the election, and they always choose them from their party.
Have you also considered,
most of all these people that are in OGSEC in Ogun State, they are card-carrying members of ACN. You cannot give yourself an examination.